10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Manchester
1,
United have
0.
reached the promised land.
Good morning, everybody. Manchester United might have reached the promised land back in '99, but I don't think Pep's ever going to reach it again. I'm sorry. I know that United are crap right now, and I know you probably shouldn't poke fun at your rivals, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, man. I've just got to play this video. I've got to get out of the way. Sorry. I'm definitely going to be taking the piss out of City in this video.
Come on, United! Oh, City! Look at this fantastic stadium. Look at this. Look at this. Wait. Fantastic stadium, but you will never win the Champions League. You see.
Good morning, everybody. I'm not sure if you saw the news last night. I'm not sure if you watched it. Wow. What a game. What a Champions League it has been this year for us who will just have to sit and watch it. And yes, I know that we're not that good, but I'll tell you what, man. Wow. City and Guardiola have got an incredible ability to find a way to balls it all up in the Champions League. One more time. Probably more than one more time, but one more time.
Come on, United! Oh, City! Look at this fantastic stadium. Look at this. Look at this. Wait. Fantastic stadium, but you will never win the Champions League. You see.
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? I can see everyone down here. Nick, Peter, Josh, and Paula. I can see you. Gungshi, good to see you. Everybody's feeling very chipper this morning after that last night. I'll tell you what, incredible. I'm buying a Benzema shirt for the final. I'll tell you that. All I want to see in the final now is Benzema to score the winner in Paris and for Ancelotti to whip out an Everton scarf, put it around his neck and do a little parade around this. It's not asking for much. But all jokes aside, all rivalry aside, I hope that Pep's really upset and crying in a corner. I hope every single... Did you see that Jack Grealish tweet, by the way? 8 years ago, he tweeted Real Madrid and it went viral last night. Got deleted. Wow. Shame he didn't score that goal, Jack. But look, good morning to everybody. How are we all doing? Yes, I'm taking the piss out of City. Yes, I'm probably going to do it more in the stream. No, you can leave if you don't like it. But I'm sure every single one of you do like it. But we're here to talk about Manchester United. Of course we are. We're a bit crap at the moment, but things are on the up, right? We've got Erik Ten Hag coming in. Changes are going on behind the scenes. And the summer's coming up. And we know that we need to have a big, big summer. So I'm going to be speaking about Christopher NKUNKU this morning. The RB Leipzig striker, attacking midfielder, central midfielder, right winger, left winger. Probably the most versatile forward in European football, at least one of them. Linked with Manchester United, heavily linked with a move to United. And it looks like he's going to be leaving Leipzig. We're going to be speaking about that this morning and run through all the reports. Going to take a look at his stats, where he plays, why he'd be good for United. And you can let me know what you think about that in the comments. We're going to take the piss out of City throughout the entire stream. Don't you worry about that. We're also going to be speaking about Jim Ratcliffe. Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Because obviously he's been currently... He's failed in his bid for Chelsea. According to his own comments, he's going back in. I'll tell you what, Jim, there's a better club that you can buy. Given that you were born in Lancashire and your boyhood club is United, I think you should be absolutely coming over to here. And you're damn right, I'm going to do another video on this later this afternoon because I'm going to push this hard. We're going to run through more comments from Jesse Lingard in the reaction and the fallout to what his brother said on Instagram. We're going to be speaking about Donny van der Beek a little bit. Or if you're here in the comments, you'll enjoy that bit. We're going to be speaking about... I'll tell you what, I was going to mention this at the end of the stream. I'm going to mention it right now. Manchester United have been absolutely crap this season, okay? We really have had very few moments. The fall from grace this season has been incredible. But the end of season game this year has got nothing to do with the first team. The season's climax is going to be over 50,000 people inside Old Trafford watching Manchester United's under-18s in the FA Youth Cup final. Our first FA Youth Cup final since 2011. And that really, really is going to be a special, special day for Garnacho, for McNeil, for every single one of those under-18s players. They've earned it, and United fans are going to be turning up over 50,000 United fans. It's fantastic. If you're in and around Manchester, it's only going to be £1 per ticket. And all the proceeds are going to the Manchester United Foundation, which is fantastic news. But if you can go, do go. It will be a great, great occasion. And I hope the kids will win it. First time since 2011. And you'll remember that 2011 team, of course, included Jesse Lingard. It included Paul Pogba, Ryan Tunnicliffe, Michael Keane, Ravel Morrison. Some that have gone on to be very successful professionals, for sure. So who can come out from this bunch of 18-year-olds? Obviously, Garnacho's broken through, and McNeil, there's plenty more in there. We'll speak about that throughout the entire stream. But the main talking point for today is Christopher Nkunku. So let's dive into it. You know what happens during these streams. Everybody, welcome to United People's TV. And look, somebody mentioned it yesterday. They're like, Sam, you should probably get the QR code for the podcast and put it on the screen. I thought that was a very, very good idea. So thank you very much for somebody who suggested that. So I designed this and I put this into the overlay now. So if you want to follow the podcast, all you got to do is take your phone. If you're watching it on your phone, might be a little bit difficult. But if you're not, take your phone, scan that, and it will take you through to the podcast website. That's why I want to say a big, big thank you to everybody who is supporting. As I said yesterday, you're going to be giving away one of these. All you've got to do to win that is leave a 5-star rating for the podcast on Apple. I'm just going to choose one random person from the list of anybody who leaves a review on it, and you can win it. So if only 2 of you leave a review, one of you is going to win that. That's what I mean. So it's going to be you're going to have like a 1 in 10 or 1 in 20 chance if you leave a review. So it's good odds. I'll go and do it, and it really will help the podcast. And Nick, you're not wrong. My God, my word. City have just they somehow managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory in the Champions League, and I'm all for it. They've never won the European Cup, and I hope they never fucking do. Last year it was Chelsea in the final. This year it's Real Madrid in the semi-final. And all we can hope and pray for now is just doing this and hoping for a Benzema madness in Paris against Liverpool. It could happen. Don't rule it out. Liverpool clearly the favourites going into it. Shame Sergio Ramos isn't there to injure Salah. Maybe he'll come back just for his game. I don't know. But let's run in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Christopher Nkunku. That's a bit of an exciting start to a stream. Sorry, it's not every day that you see that from City. It's great fun. Great fun. If you can't poke fun at your rivals, man, you're not really a football fan. Seriously. Christopher Nkunku. This is coming from L'Equipe, and this is being reported by Get French Football News. It said that Christopher Nkunku has decided to leave RB Leipzig, but engineering a move is tricky. As reported by L'Equipe, Leipzig midfielder Nkunku wants to leave the German club this summer, but Leipzig are looking to keep him regardless. Look at that. 31 goals and 20 assists in 48 games. That is absolutely balmy, numbers-wise. And I'm going to dive into Nkunku's stats, his positions, and we can have a big discussion about it, because we all know this summer is a summer where Manchester United need to bring in a new striker or a new goal scorer. It depends on your definition of what United need. You let me know what United need, what you think United need in the comments, because maybe United don't necessarily need a striker like a traditional number 9. We need a goal scorer and somebody with a bit of versatility, because not only do we need technically do we need somebody to be a backup to Cristiano Ronaldo, we could do with strengthening the right wing as well. That's somewhere where Nkunku comes into it. IQ Insane saying he's like Sadio Mane's style of play. I'll run through a lot of when we look at his profile, and that's something that United need to do this summer. Look at the player's profile, not just the numbers, not just the name, not just the club he played for, but the actual profile of them. You can see exactly where he would slot into this new United team, hopefully, that's going to be shaping up. Now, Nkunku has been definitely linked with Manchester United before, right? Ralf Rangnick, of course, from his time at RB Leipzig, no points for guessing who signed Christopher Nkunku, because I've done a video on it. That was, of course, Paul Mitchell. Signed him for 13 million, and he's now in the region of 75 to 100 million euros. It's an incredible rise that he's had at Leipzig, and an incredible spot by Leipzig's scouting department. Just another success story that Paul Mitchell has had. Now, reports over the last few weeks, I remember it was about 3 weeks ago, reports came out saying that Rangnick was like flabbergasted. Good use of the word flabbergasted. Flabbergasted that United didn't have a sort of scouting report on Nkunku. He's like, what do you mean? What are your scouts doing if you're not going out and looking at a player like him? Which maybe wouldn't surprise United fans, but then let's see what's happened since is Jim Lawler and Marcel Bout have both left the club. Almost like they weren't doing their job properly. But NKUNKU is definitely a player that could come into this Manchester United team and really, really improve our options. Let me go down here and see what you're saying in the comments. And you're saying, I must admit, I have reservations. Bundesliga players traditionally haven't done anywhere near the same in Prem. No, De Bruyne and Gundogan are definitely not the only exceptions. And I think that's all complete bullshit. No offense, Ant. Whether it's player from the Bundesliga might not cut it in the Prem. Sod that, man. Players are players. Footballers are footballers. It doesn't matter where they've come from. If they are top quality and you identify it truly and you scout properly, that player will adapt to the Premier League. Of course, the Premier League is a massive step up in tempo. Of course it is. But I'm not going to look at any signing and just simply dismiss them because of the league they play in. That's narrow-minded, in my opinion, and that's focusing on the wrong things. If you've done your job properly and you scouted properly, it doesn't matter whether they've come from the Japanese league. It doesn't matter whether they come from the Bundesliga. And it doesn't matter whether they come from anywhere. If they're good enough, they will be good enough in the Premier League. And maybe I think that's a bit of an old school mentality. If they're from England, if they're from the Premier League, then they're going to be better. They're going to be burlier. They're ready for it. No, they just might be a bit bang average, but you've seen them more. That's kind of the way. That's why. But yeah, it's not an attack on you, Ant. But I think that idea that just because they play in foreign leagues, can they cut it in the Premier League? It's kind of like a Rory Delap old school way of thinking. But let's just take a look at his numbers, because as Ant says in the comments there, the numbers really, really do not lie. And NKUNKU is 24, right in that profile of the sort of age that we need to sign a player. We know that, right? I said that we need to sign players in the region of 20 to 25 this summer. That's what we need. But how much do you think he would cost, first and foremost, right? Transfer market's got him down there as 58 million. What do you think would be an actual, if hypothetically he did leave Leipzig this summer, how much do you think he would go for? You let me know in the comments and I'll read a few of your opinions out. But if you go down here, man, the numbers are ridiculous. Europa League, 5 appearances, 3 goals. We're not focusing on that. We're focusing on this. 32 appearances in the Bundesliga with 18 goals and 15 assists. Wow. Absolutely wow. Shoulder, you're saying mad stats this season, but think he needs one more in Germany at same level to prove consistency, not a one-season wonder. 2 seasons before weren't great. Well, Shoulder, that comes down to your scouting department. Why would you, if you think a player's good enough, why would you leave a player to have that second good season in Germany when he can come and have that second good season at Manchester United? That's down to your scouting. That's down to your profiling. So many quality. Look, the Bundesliga really is a top draw league. I mean, you could argue it's the second best league. That or La Liga. I mean, Serie A's looking pretty decent, actually. I'll tell you what, European leagues are definitely improving, for sure. Josh, you think 40 million? There's no way in hell he goes for 40 million. Jack, you think 80? I think that's probably more in the region. 40 says Tiamolo, 60 to 65, 55. Werner Price, 60, 70, 75, 80. I think you're looking around about the 75, 80 region. Scott, you're saying, look at Bayern, for fuck's sake. Of course, the Bayern have absolutely dominated. They've won like 11 seasons in a row. So maybe, yeah, I'm wrong there. But in terms of the quality of players, there really have been. Maybe it's just that the Bundesliga scouts at Dortmund and Leipzig are better at identifying these younger players who then go on somewhere else. But they, from Bellingham and Sancho, they've just signed Schlotterbeck, haven't they, I think? So he's going to come in from Freiburg, obviously a centre-back who we were linked with tentatively, but I'm sure that he will be very, very good. And NKUNKU, man, you can't argue with his stats and his numbers. And I'll tell you what the most impressive thing about NKUNKU is. It really isn't. That's a lie. The most impressive thing are the numbers and the goals. But look at this versatility, ladies and gents. Have you ever seen a positions played like this? This is his career. These are his career stats to date. He's actually played more games in central midfield than any other position, but he's also played in attacking midfield 47 times. As a supporting striker, 26 times. He's played on the wings tentatively and centre forward tentatively, but he's played in the left midfield 24 times, the right midfield 20 times. He's even bloody played right back. Unbelievable, Jeff. And when it comes to what Manchester United need, okay, you let me know in the comments here. Type one word. This will be an interesting one. If you could choose United this summer to sign a proper number 9, like a true goal scorer, or a really versatile forward that can play that can play as a supporting striker, that can play as a centre forward, that can play as a right winger. If you're going to choose one of those, who are you going to choose? Because I think United have to prioritise. Ideally, we could probably do with both this summer, but I don't think we will be able to afford both. If you're going to choose one of those attackers, a pure striker or a versatile forward, which one of those are you going to sign? Which one of those do you think United need more? Because I think it's probably versatility, if I'm being completely honest. Because as well as when you think about this, right? What level of striker would Manchester United be able to sign that would be happy to play second fiddle to Cristiano Ronaldo? Because that's ultimately what we need. We need somebody who can support Ronaldo, not somebody who can come into the club and just force Ronaldo onto the bench. Absolutely not. He's still going to be our main striker. Let me see what you're thinking down here in the comments. It looks pretty, I'll be honest, it looks pretty dominant here. Everybody's saying versatility. There are a few people that are saying striker. Right, okay, I'm not saying it's complete. Like Stefan, you're saying pure striker. Shady, you're saying that. Matt, you're saying out and out striker. Nunes over at NKUNKU every day. Oh, there you go. That's a second question then. Type Nunes or NKUNKU. You can choose one because it's effectively down to that, isn't it? Nunes is somebody his all-round game isn't particularly impressive, but his numbers are incredible. He is a goal scorer. Get him in the box, get him in the 18 yards. He will score goals. But someone like NKUNKU could very much come into this Manchester United team and play where we need him to play, and probably create his own position, if you know what I mean. Especially if you're looking at the 4-2-3-1, the wingers really hold width. And if you're looking at what he hasn't really done, he hasn't really played too much on the wings, has he? You can see down here, he's played on the left 12 times, he's played on the right 4 times. It's not really his position. He's a central man. Be interested to know what you think down here. NKUNKU for 75. NKUNKU, no more useless. Lukaku, Nunes. NKUNKU, I tell you what, that's definitely going to be a split. It almost feels like we should do a video on this, I think. Nunes, because there's a lot of support for Nunes. There's a lot. And Wayne, both just won't happen this summer. Let's be realistic about it. We're not signing both. We're going to have to sign one. Josh, honestly, don't know enough to make a judgment. Let's see if we can do a bit of research. We'll do a video on it because I think that's an interesting conversation. Because first and foremost, we just need more goals next year, right? From different sources. That's what makes Liverpool so dangerous. Salah's out of form. Don't worry. They've got Mane. They've got Diaz. They've got midfielders chipping in. When you have all of your goals tied into one person, like we do with Cristiano Ronaldo, the dependence and the reliance on him almost becomes a hindrance. Like you can't leave him out of the team, because if you leave him out of the team, you're just not scoring. But look, when it comes to diving into NKUNKU one little step further, and we take a look at his scouting report here, and we can see that the numbers reflect where he is. He's literally in the top 1% for non-penalty goals, the top 5% for non-penalty expected goals, top 7% for assists as well. That's impressive. Top 3% for non-penalties expected goals and assists. And down here, progressive passes received, top 1%. His top 2 stats are goals and how many times he receives the balls from progressive positions. So balls coming up the pitch. He's always finding himself in the right spots. But I think the thing that you'll probably find more interesting about this is let's look over on the right-hand side and let's see the players who are considered similar to Christopher NKUNKU. And let's think about what this Manchester United team, what we're trying to get towards. We're not trying to copy Liverpool. We're not trying to copy City. But their style of play is the modern blueprint, isn't it? That's how United have to go towards. And look who he's down as similar as. Luis Diaz. I'm so pissed off how good that signing was in January as well. Bastards. Son, Sadio Mane, Salah, Coman, Foden, Leroy Sané, Riyad Mahrez. He's that sort of player. I'm going to be doing I'm going to do a full story on NKUNKU next week. I've already done one on Tchouaméni, and I've already done one on Yuri Timber. Across this, as we progress to the summer, it's just a series that I do that I've always done for a few years here in United People's TV. The OGs will remember, where I take a look at players that we're linked with. I run through the reports where they started from. We try and take a look at the reliability and whether it's just paper guff or whether there's actually any substance to the rumours. Now, in NKUNKU, there's definite substance to the rumours, man. There's absolute substance to the rumours. Vicky, good morning to you. I can see you there in the comments. Who else we got down here? Plenty of you down in the comments. Sam Chiang, what are you saying? My worry is City would come and snap the deal up from us. City, look, could you imagine if City had managed to sign Ronaldo, that wouldn't have happened last night. If City had managed to sign Ronaldo, they probably would be winning the treble this year. That's not going to happen. Ideally, best of a worst case scenario, City go and win the league, finally go and do that. And then Real Madrid come and do the business. How do NKUNKU Stats this season compare with Sancho's best season at Dortmund? Excellent question there, Sholdy. I can't do that as we're live, but maybe I can pull that in as when I take a look at the full story of NKUNKU. Because I know that people have concerns about players that you sign from foreign leagues, but then you can say, well, fucking Liverpool spent 50 bloody million on Andy Carroll in the Premier League. How did that work out? It doesn't matter where a player's from. It matters how accurate your scouting department is. That's what I mean. Like Liverpool just signed Luis Diaz from Portugal. People from the Portuguese league. There's so many players who have failed from there. Luis Diaz hasn't because he was signed for the right reasons and he fit the profile. And it's like, boom, worked. Like he'd been there for years. And that's what I mean. It's got nothing to do with the player's nationality. It's got nothing to do with where the player has played. It's about whether you think that he has attributes that fit the system that he's coming into, which is what United haven't really had, is it? That's why so many of our signings from foreign leagues have just gone absolutely up shit creek, because we haven't signed them for the right reasons and to fit a profile, because we haven't had a system in place. Now we're going to have a system in place in Ten Hag. The likeliness of us getting more accurate with our transfers will be better because we know exactly why we're signing players like NKUNKU. Let's go down here and see what you're saying. Would you take Kane if it meant blowing our summer budget? Now, I know this is an opinion not everyone agrees with, but no, I would not. I've got into arguments with a few my United mates who will be appearing on the podcast at some point. I wouldn't. This is not the summer for Manchester United to go after the top tier names. This is not the summer that United can afford to go and sign Harry Kane and Declan Rice. This is a summer where Manchester United need to do this rebuild properly. This is the summer where we need 4 to 5 40 to 50 million pound signings, far more than we need 2 100 million pound signings. It's about being smart with our money, spreading it, and not spreading it and then accepting mediocrity. Because there are players that we can sign for those regions in that price bracket that absolutely can come and change Manchester United's whole squad. But this is not a summer for 2 big marquee signings. Get this summer right, nail it with 3 and 4. Maybe the year after we can talk about getting a big marquee in, and that's when you can sort of slot them in. This summer is not the summer for that, in my opinion anyway. Kane would be an incredible signing, all right? I'm not denying that. Just don't think that United have got the finances to do that, to sign Kane. Like, Kane is far more likely to go to Man City this summer than he is to go to Man United. But Haaland's going to go there. So Kane will probably stay at Spurs, and Poch will probably come back to Spurs and Conte to PSG. That will probably happen. Have Fulham got any suitable players? Liverpool have already signed that Carvalho, haven't they? Let me see what you're all saying down here in the comments. As always, ladies and gents, if you are new to United People's TV, welcome aboard. Genuinely, I do try to interact as much as I possibly can. So please drop a like on the video. Please subscribe if you're new. And please fire your comments in. Fred, you're saying Kane without Son. That's not happening. They do come together, don't they? Come on, if we're going to blow a huge transfer on a Spurs player, it's always going to be Son. Nah, if we were going to sign a Spurs player, it would be Kane. I'm not saying that would be the right thing to do. I'm just saying that's what United would do. Well, the United that we know, not this new look United team coming through going, who's that? Not used to my club making right decisions. Ian, that's a good comment. How good did it, Camavinga, 19-year-old, coming on in a Champions League semi-final in that situation? Mustard. Absolutely fantastic performance from him. The French, this French national team, it is unfair how many good players they've got. And the generation doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. Camavinga is part of this next generation that's coming through. They've obviously won the World Cup. Wow, that France team is good. And this Real Madrid team, they're about to sign Mbappe as well. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Warren, remember when Fergie broke his rule of signing an unknown player without fully scouting him or watching him before? Bebe. That's what we don't want. Jeez. That was off the recommendation of someone, wasn't it? I can't remember who that was. But, dearie me. Mbappe at Real Madrid, that's going to be a problem for everybody. That really is going to be a problem for everybody. You guys are underpricing Timber, says Kaz van Barneveld. Well, we don't know how to value him. I think 50 million seems like a more than reasonable in the region of 40 to 50 million. I don't think that's particularly undervalued for a 20-year-old. Anyway, Bebe. I can't believe somebody mentioned Bebe there. Oh, no, thank you. Jeez, Bebe. Although, where is he now? I think he's at like Real. Is it Real Sociedad? He's somewhere in the league. I swear they just won the is it Real Betis? I swear they just won the Copa del Rey. Fergie got a backhander for Bebe. I don't know what he got for Bebe. Matt, you're saying any chance on Frankie de Jong? I'd love there to be, Matt. I really would. Frankie de Jong, for me, I think I've explained this before. He's basically going to be the blueprint of the signing that Erik ten Hag wants. He's going to be like, this is the playmaker I want. If I can't get Frankie de Jong, who can I get that's closest to him? He wants that sort of player. Because we need that. That's the playmaker from deep. That's why the idea of de Jong, because we talked about this before, but if you're talking about 100 to 150 million on Declan Rice, you could probably sign Tchouaméni and Frankie de Jong for 150 million combined, which is going to make the biggest impact to United's midfield, Declan Rice on his own or Tchouaméni and de Jong. And it's a rhetorical question. But that's the sort of thing that United have to do this summer. Not about the big marquee, one big signing, the two smarter signings that could make the key difference. And I personally think that de Jong will probably stay at Barcelona. I think what Xavi's doing there is very exciting. They've got a good young team, and de Jong is really quite an important part of that. It hasn't gone perfectly for him since he's joined there. Kind of in the same way it hasn't gone perfectly for De Ligt since he joined Juventus. I'd love for us to signing him. Look, if Ten Hag wants him and goes after with a 70 to 80 million pound bid for de Jong, I think you force Barcelona to have a conversation, because of course they're a club that's riddled with debt, more so than Manchester United, which is ridiculous. So they would have to entertain the offer at least and have a conversation. They couldn't just dismiss it out of hand. We've also got to look for a replacement for Maguire, says Shady. I don't think that's going to be happening this summer. Now, you know what I think about Maguire, and I'd love for us to replace him this summer. Just don't think it will happen this summer. Barca priced de Jong at 58 mil. No way they're going to send him 58 mil. I don't think so anyway. Maybe they will, but I just don't think so. Sam, do you remember the player Graham Souness signed? Ali Dia. I remember that. Dad joke on this merry morning, Sam. Why did Bebe never go up for set pieces? Because nobody put Bebe in the corner. Ooh. What do you reckon? What are we rating that dad joke out of 10? I mean, it's a 10 out of 10 dad joke. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 for the crowd response. Vicky, what are you saying down here? You're saying, why doesn't Declan Rice just ask to terminate his contract? Because he's a West Ham lad. But obviously his Chelsea was his academy, but he's not going to force the move this summer. I've explained it to you. It's obvious how it's going to go down. West Ham have priced Rice out of the move. He'll stay at West Ham this year. He'll have one more season next season. I expect it to be a little bit less than the level he's been at this season, and then he'll move next year. Like Ronaldo, when we kept him for one more year before he eventually moved to Real Madrid. That's what West Ham are going to have this summer with Declan Rice. That's what I think so anyway. Worse than an all joke. Yeah, that's pretty true, actually. But look, this is something I'm very excited is the wrong word to describe it, to talk about, but I'm really going to push this. There's going to be some serious propaganda about Jim Ratcliffe on this channel in the next few days. Now, if you don't know who Jim Ratcliffe is or what's going on, he and Ineos, which is the company that he is co-founder of, he is the richest man in Britain. His worth is roughly, according to Forbes, around about 21 billion, yes, with a B, billion pounds. And he submitted a very late last-minute offer to buy Chelsea. Now, at this moment in time, it's not gone through. He's failed in that bid. This interview here with the BBC, as I said, it's not giving up on buying a Premier League club. Nick here saying that this dude is a Chelsea fan. He's not. He is a boyhood Manchester United fan, born in Lancashire. He's a United fan, all right? So I am going to be pushing this very, very hard, right? This is what he said when he was asked about buying Manchester United. Let me pull this quick video up here. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I didn't. Where's the clip? Did I not upload the clip? Is that the one there? Yeah, there you go. Right, let me upload this clip here. I apologize. I thought I did this already. But look, let me get this here. This is what Ratcliffe said when he was posed the question about buying Manchester United by Dan Rowan from the BBC.
Some would argue you should be trying to buy the club that you grew up supporting.
Yes, I mean, I can understand that, but Manchester United's not for sale.
Manchester United not for sale. That's something I would absolutely disagree with. Manchester United is for sale, right? And when it comes to the bid for Chelsea from Jim Ratcliffe was in the region of 4 billion, wasn't it? Don't know the exact one here. 4.25 billion, right? That was the offer. Let's go and have a quick look at the value of Manchester United. $4.2 billion, not 4.2 billion pounds. Jim Ratcliffe, man, if you want to buy a club in the Premier League, come and buy Manchester United. It feels like an opportunity here for United fans to really, I don't know how clued up Jim Ratcliffe is online. I don't know how much time he spends online. He's a goddamn billionaire. He's got businesses to run. He probably doesn't do it at all. But if I can make I'm going to make some noise about this Jim Ratcliffe situation because I can see it there. I can see the opportunity. I think the protests are going on at the right time. What the 1958 are doing, it's good. It's keeping the conversation at the top of the to-do list, if you know what I mean. It's not allowing it to sort of get buried. And Jim Ratcliffe, right there, a Manchester United boyhood fan with a failed bid of over 4 billion to buy Chelsea, it's right there. It is right there for you. It's got nothing to do with Manchester United not being for sale. If he came in with a cash offer like that made the Glazers an extra, what is it? That would be like an extra, I mean, Jesus. They only put up, I'm trying to remember how much they actually put into the club to actually buy it. Not that much. Obviously, the loan itself was about 406, about 500 million. They would make billions off that. Billions cash. He's probably not going to pay an extra billion to get the Glazers out. Look, if he's willing to pay 4 billion for Chelsea, then he's willing to pay 4 billion. By the way, that 4 billion for Chelsea includes roughly around about 1 billion in future payments that would go down to the redevelopment of Stamford Bridge and probably like hotels and all the stuff around it. So there's probably more to it, right? But Jim Ratcliffe, man, we've got to have a conversation here. Ray, you're saying, I'm sorry, bro, the Glazers aren't selling. Like any businessman, like any businesswoman, the Glazers will sell if the right offer comes in. 99% of things in the world, it's unsellable. Is it? Fuck. If the right offer comes in that makes them enough money, they will sell Manchester United. That is the fundamental of business. All right? There will come a cash out point for the Glazers. There will. I know we can't, maybe not all of you agree with me there, but they will. Because if you look, if you're talking about business here, Glazers won't sell their cash cow. If you work in business and you look at the yield of a business, the yield of a business is what you make at the end of the year based on your business. And for the Glazers to be having a business that's worth, let's say 3 billion pounds, and to be taking out 20 million per year, that yield as a percentage, what's 1% would be 30 million, I think. 10% would be 300. Yeah, 1% would be 30 million. So 20 million is like 0.7% yield on their business. That's a crap yield for the scale of the business. Look, I don't think that the Glazers will sell. I think you're right. But it does not mean that I won't push this propaganda. This propaganda's coming this afternoon, baby. I'm loading that shotgun and it's going to go out. So you can definitely take that. I mean, look, it's a mad. You could take 20 to 30 million annually, or they can take 4 to 5 billion. Of course, taxes will come into it and they're going to lose part of that, but they could then take that money elsewhere. You can see clearly was it Avram Glazer cashing in quite a lot of his shares? Some of them are taking their cash away from Manchester United already. To think that the Glazers wouldn't entertain that offer, let's be real, people. They absolutely would. Ismail saying, morning, Sam. Enjoy the 2 podcasts. In a great mood. City lost yesterday. I don't think the Glazers would sell United. Thank you very much, Ismail, for listening to the podcast. And I will say here, honestly, it means the world to me. Thank you for all the support. The podcast is something that's been quite close to my heart. That hasn't been close to my heart. I've been pretty passionate about launching this podcast for a long, long time. I've always felt there was a place for a really good, insightful, decent podcast with decent United fans. People who go to the games, people who don't go to the games, everybody involved, right? That's what I think we've launched. I'm very happy with it. And thank you very much, Ismail. But look, if the dream is on and the Glazers could sell, I see no reason why Jim Ratcliffe wouldn't be the perfect owner. Boyhood Manchester United fan from Lancashire, Britain's richest man. Look, man, I'm excited about the idea of it. And I'm going to do a video on it. Even if it doesn't happen, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to push that agenda, because you know full well here on United People's TV, and you know full well you don't just need me for it. Until the Glazers leave Manchester United, our club can't truly move forward. And he's saying it's not just that, Sam. Glazers use leverage loans against United to fund their other business ventures. That way, they will never have to use their money. That way, they never have to use their own money, so there's no risk to them. Look, I know it's not as simple as X amount of money comes in, shake. No, actually, no, it's a lie. It's very simple as that. That's exactly what happens in business. But with the Glazers, it is different. They are sneaky. They are. Look at the way that they funded. I haven't done a video on it yet, but I will do at some point. Look at the way that they funded the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' new stadium. They literally threatened to take the Buccaneers away from Tampa Bay and forced the local councils to stump up cash to part pay. They hardly paid a fucking bean for it. They literally held the city and they put the city in a noose. And they had to pay for it. They're fucking sneaky. They are absolutely sneaky. But right, I'm doing a video this afternoon. You might disagree with it, but I think this is an opportunity for United fans to keep pushing this agenda. We're doing it with the protests. I'm going to do it with this video this afternoon. All right. You can agree to disagree whether you think that's a good thing to do or not. But look, let's move on to more conversations. We've already talked there about Christopher NKUNKU, who on paper, when you look at it and you really look at the profile of what United need and the profile of what Manchester United really have to do this summer, a versatile forward who can play as a striker but can also play on the right wing and centrally, it kind of fits a bit more into the profile of what we need and where we're going towards than someone like Darwin Núñez. But we can have a conversation about that. We can have a conversation about that further down the line. Let's talk about Jesse Lingard now, though. Obviously, Jesse Lingard in the headlines this week. Oh, well, more specifically, Jesse Lingard's brother for his outburst on Instagram after the Brentford game. And then this came out yesterday. Now, the thing I want to say about this is when this came out yesterday, it also came out on the Telegraph from James Ducker. So you've got Simon Stone at the BBC, James Ducker from the Telegraph, and Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail, all with extremely similar stories about Jesse Lingard and his future. And it just, for a man who clearly, whether it's Lingard responsible, whether it's his brother, somebody in the Lingard camp is at least in part responsible for the leaks that happen in this season. And this just makes it really, really abundantly obvious. Someone there saying I missed a super chat. I apologize about it. Let me try and scroll up and see if I can see it. Oh, there you go. Expect a reborn Van der Beek. He'll be key, and I miss Mason. I'm going to be speaking about Van der Beek coming up soon. I've got some comments from Yap Stam, so don't worry about that. Jedi saying, look, I've done my video on the Lingard situation. I don't want to go into it too much. I do feel let down by Lingard. I understand that Lingard feels let down by Manchester United as well. I think it's a bit of both, all right? It's a bit of both. Look, Gene in here saying, Sam, the Glazers are not the only owners in US sports. I'm not saying that they are. But they're the only people who own Manchester United, so I don't give a shit what anybody else has done. Right? I'm not. What is that? Is that justifying the fact that it's just part of what US sports franchises do? I don't care. That's a franchise model, and it's the franchise ownership headspace that the Glazers have that just doesn't apply to British sports. You know, weird, odd, and yeah, I'm going to do a video on it. But look, yeah, man, this situation, if you scroll down here with Jesse, you read it. Look, Jesse Lingard's contract expires. BBC understand this made me go, really? BBC Sports understands that Jesse Lingard has no interest in talking to Erik ten Hag. You what, mate? You've got no interest in talking to Ten Hag. I'm pretty sure that Ten Hag's got no interest in talking to you. Jeez. I told you, man. As I said, I went into this in quite a bit of detail. We even did it. There was a good 20-minute chat about it on the podcast as well. If you really want to hear my opinion and Alex's and Neil's and Bal's from the podcast, just follow the QR code down there. Where is it? Boop. There. Down there. And yeah, there's a really in-depth chat about it on there. It's odd. It's weird. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Dave is saying, stop talking about Lingard. He's let himself down. This will be the last time that I mention Lingard until the departure completely is made official, unless something comes out with some actual updates and stories on it. It's odd. It's weird. I don't like it. Lingard's not covering himself in glory. United haven't covered themselves in glory in this whole situation either, have we? Nobody wins. This is exactly what I said in my video. Gary is saying, if he doesn't want to talk, fine. Good luck finding anyone else who will pay those wages. No, he'll get a big signing on bonus somewhere, though. That's why he's been waiting to be a free transfer. But look, when it comes to Erik ten Hag, something that's still not sorted, that we all want to get sorted soon, is his backroom staff. And Fabrizio Romano here, not even an update. This is what he said about Mitchell van der Gaag yesterday. Van der Gaag close to becoming part of Ten Hag's coaching staff. It's been close for 2 weeks now. Not signed his contract yet because they are waiting to see what happens in this change for United's board with Matt Judge leaving. Now, that bit I find a bit weird. I don't really understand how Matt Judge's exit or anything to do with Matt Judge affects Mitchell van der Gaag's position as an assistant manager. They're two very, very different conversations. You can let me know what you think about that in the comments below. There's a comment there from Matt, which on Facebook. I haven't read your comments out in a while, Matt. Let me read one. We need an out-and-out striker. Somebody that can be there for the team. When Ronaldo is on the bench, can come in and perform. When Ronaldo starts, they come off the bench and put in a shift for the team, be there to win, but not just for themselves. The profile of the player that you're describing there, Matt, is extremely difficult to find. You want somebody who is a proper goal scorer, but somebody who's willing to play second fiddle to Ronaldo and sit on the bench unless Ronaldo needs a rest. So you need a player who's quality enough to be that replacement for Ronaldo, but not good enough that he's going to get pissed off when Ronaldo's playing in front of him. That's a very, very difficult and very niche type signing to find. I don't know how you find that. Very, very hard. A youth player would obviously be an easy option, but not somebody who you can guarantee goals from. And that's why someone like NKUNKU, who can play that position if he needs to, but can also play on the right-hand side. So maybe he could start on the right wing, but then when Ronaldo needs a rest, he can go through the middle. The versatility, you can see that there. I personally see a lot more value in Manchester United signing a versatile forward this summer who can play centrally and play on the wing than I do signing a proper number 9. Because in an ideal world, we would sign a striker and a right winger. I don't think we can get both, but can we get somebody who plays a bit of both? I think we can. I think so anyway. Look, Hernandez, perfect example. We needed Javier Hernandez. Good luck finding one. Absolute diamond in the rough he was. And good luck finding somebody of his quality in front of goal who will have the attitude that he had and be okay to be on the bench. Be okay to be that super sub. It's tough. It's a very, very tough position because you need someone who's good enough to be that person, but not good enough that they're going to get pissed off. It's a very, very small zone I think you're looking for there. And yeah, look, you're asking why the departure of Judge would be an issue for Mitchell van der Gaag. And I have no idea how they're even linked. I don't know what Fabrizio Romano means there. What, is he going to come in and be like the new deputy director as well? Bit weird. Bit weird that. Mike, you're saying, in my opinion, City had that player in Jesus when he was behind Aguero. Exactly. And now Aguero's left and Jesus is number 1. They're struggling for goals. It's a very hard balancing act. That was one of Fergie's greatest characteristics, wasn't it? When we play 4-4-2, we had Andy Cole. It's the perfect example because it is the best example that we've ever had, really. Cole and York, Sheringham and Solskjaer. 2 starters, 2 subs. All played key roles across the whole season, from Solskjaer scoring in the FA Cup against Liverpool at Old Trafford to Cole and York linking up away at Barcelona, to Sheringham scoring in the Champions League final, to Solskjaer scoring the winner, to Andy Cole scoring, was it the chip against, who was it, Spurs on the final day of the season? Every single one of them just played their parts in that season. United don't really have that quality in squad depth and squad strength, and it's one of the most delicate balancing acts that any manager has to do at the top level, to be able to have a squad full of elite players and keep them all happy. It's very, very difficult, man. But United need that. I just personally think that if we're going to sign one this summer, and I think we're only signing one, I think we're focusing on midfield and defence first and foremost. I think it's probably going to be someone with a bit of versatility rather than someone who's a pure number 9. And I think the pure number 9 would come the year after when Ronaldo leaves. That's what my instinct is telling me. Might be wrong. We'll find out. But somebody who's going to be coming back into the squad this season, it will feel like a new signing. I know it's cliche sometimes, but it really will feel like a new signing. Donny van de Beek. This is what Jaap Stam said about him. He said there is a talent, and everybody has seen that as well. We all know that. The only thing is that a talent needs to get confidence. That's for everybody. Every player needs to have confidence. Otherwise, it is difficult to perform. Jaap Stam just preaching there, and it's true. We all know that confidence is such a fundamental. If you played any sport, even at Sunday League level, you know that you've got to be confident in your own ability to be able to go and do it in a match situation, let alone the pressures that these players come under. I think Donny will enjoy pre-season. I think he'll come back to United and be a completely clean slate. He's going to be like, let's just ignore the last 2 years ever basically happened. His career stalled massively, and he's going to be working under the manager that brought him through. I still question whether he's actually going to play that much at Manchester United, though, because Bruno Fernandes is our main man in that position, and he does play 4-2-3-1. There is only space for one number 10. That's where he played in the 2018-19 season for Ajax. That's exactly where Bruno's going to play. So if they both play, either Donny or Bruno's going to have to be forced out of position. And I don't particularly think that's going to be the case, unless maybe Donny drops into a double pivot and plays alongside a proper ball winner, and maybe Donny van de Beek becomes our Frankie de Jong type player. But I don't particularly think he's like that. I know he's not like that. He's better closer to the opponent's box than he is closer to Manchester United's box. So it's going to be weird. I don't know how he's going to manage Donny because of Bruno Fernandes. If Bruno wasn't there, the Donny situation would be very simple. But let's find out. Someone down there saying Bruno goes out wide. You could have Bruno going out wide, but typically Ten Hag's wingers are proper wingers. He likes them to hold width. That's exactly the opposite of what Bruno will do. And if we're looking at one position where it's probably going to be on the wing, I would say would be the worst position for Bruno Fernandes. Because as a winger, you've got to hold your position. You've got to stay disciplined. That is not what Bruno does. Bruno, he's somebody who likes to be involved everywhere. Give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. Don't put him out on the wing. He'll just run away from the wing and just leave a huge gap there. Charlie, you're going to the cup final. Fantastic, mate. Enjoy it. Send some pictures. I think everybody's going to really, really have a good day. Vipe, you're saying pretty sure we won't get Tchouameni. Real Madrid getting linked with him, of course. They are getting linked with him. And look, as I said, this Real Madrid team, I mean, they might even get Pogba on a free as well. And they've got Mbappe. But it's going to be a problem. Ancelotti doing God's work there. Come on, Ancelotti. Champions League final. I'll tell you who isn't in the Champions League final. City!
Come on, United! Oh! City! Look at this fantastic stadium. Look at this. Wait. Fantastic stadium, but you will never win the Champions League. You see?
Sorry, I did say I was going to. What am I apologizing for? Of course, I told you I was going to come out again. But look, I think I'll wrap this up for today because I really want to get focused. And I've told you this is going to be in my opinion, this is a very, very important video that I'm going to do. I'm really going to push the Jim Ratcliffe conversation about buying Manchester United. If you're really going to be prepared to put an offer up for 4.2 billion for Chelsea and you can't do it, Jim, why would you not look at Manchester United? Even if the Glazers won't sell, even if NKUNKU is unsellable this year for Leipzig and someone comes in with the right offer, they will sell NKUNKU. The Glazers might not want to sell Manchester United, but if someone comes in with the right offer, they would consider selling Manchester United. That is the truth of business. There are very few things in this world that can't be bought at the right price. And Manchester United is one of them. Even if you think that the Glazers would just prefer to hold it as a dividends cash cow, which of course they might do, and they do, they have. The right offer comes in, they definitely will consider selling. I'm going to start working on that because I think it's a very important video to do, and I'm looking forward to doing it. Thank you very much for all joining in this morning. Don't know why I did a little dance there. Look, I'll say one more time, the support on the podcast has been superb, but please keep spreading the word. It's in its infancy stages. In the first couple of months, I'm going to have to push it really, really hard. So hopefully you guys will listen to it, and the charts will start recognizing it as a podcast, and it can start climbing and start growing in its audience, because I'm starting from absolutely zero over there. So please, if you would, follow the link down there, follow the QR code, go over there and listen to the podcast, follow the podcast. And look, giving this away, not that one away, going to be giving away one of these. I've got another one worth 50 quid, by the way. Going to be giving it away to somebody who leaves a review on Apple. And it has to be Apple, because on the Apple reviews and the ratings, 5-star, by the way, on the Apple reviews and ratings, it leaves your name next to it. So I can come back on here next week and say, okay, you've won it, because on Spotify, it's just a number. It doesn't tell me who it is. But Gungshi, thank you very much, everybody, for joining in this morning. T, Manoil, Anuj, Josh, everybody had a good day. Fred, you're saying, Sam, you decided what mod is going to win the giveaway? Not yet. I'll decide later on. It's definitely not going to be Or. I'm joking, Or. You'll win one. No, actually, you'll never win one. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. I'll speak to you soon.